In the third episode of Season 2 of House of the Dragon, we are introduced to an attractive young woman who is in House Strong's council chamber when Daemon arrives at Harrenhal. She most interestingly does not show Daemon the proper respect that the Lord Strong and the other present show Daemon. She merely observes the events then, but later on, when Daemon has a most disturbing dream concerning a teenage version of Rhaenyra sewing the head of slain Jaehaerys back onto the rest of his dead body, he awakens to find himself in front of a giant weirwood tree in Harrenhal. Standing there is Alys, who tells him he's going to die in this place. We do not know if this was Daemon waking up from a walking dragon dream, or if the vision of the young Rhaenyra and the conversation with Alys was all one nightmare. It is a most strange encounter, and one that leaves us wondering who this mysterious woman is. The woman in question, Alys Rivers, is a mysterious character from the A Song of Ice and Fire series, primarily featured in the historical accounts of the Targaryen Civil War known as the Dance of the Dragons. She was a bastard of House Strong, a noble family from Harrenhal, and served as a wet nurse at the castle. Her exact parentage remains unclear, adding to her enigmatic presence in the story. Alys Rivers is described as a beautiful woman with striking features. She has long, flowing black hair and mesmerizing eyes, which some claim have a mystical quality. Her beauty and allure have often been noted by those who encounter her, contributing to her reputation as a bewitching figure. For those that do wish to have rest of Alys' story spoiled, now would be a good time to conclude the watching of this video, for spoilers most certainly will ensue. During the Dance of the Dragons, Alys Rivers played a significant role in the conflict. She was a close companion and lover of Prince Aemon Targaryen, the younger brother of King Aegon II. Her relationship with Aemon elevated her status and influence within the faction supporting Aegon II. Alys Rivers was rumored to possess magical abilities and prophetic powers. Tales of her engaging in sorcery and foretelling the future were widespread. She claimed to have visions and used her supposed abilities to influence those around her. Some accounts suggest she could see events from afar and communicate with supernatural forces. One of the most notable events involving Alys Rivers was the Battle of the God's Eye, where Prince Daemon Targaryen and Prince Aemon Targaryen faced each other in a deadly aerial combat. Alys was present at Harrenhal during this battle, and it is believed she had a hand in influencing the outcome through her mystical practices. After the Dance of the Dragons, Alys Rivers' fate became shrouded in mystery. Some accounts suggest she survived the conflict and continued to live at Harrenhal, possibly continuing her sorceress activities. Her exact whereabouts and activities after the war remain speculative, adding to her legendary status. There are claims that Alys Rivers bore a son to Prince Aemon Targaryen, though the identity and fate of this child are uncertain. This potential offspring would carry the bloodlines of both House Targaryen and House Strong, creating a unique lineage. Alys's legacy is one of intrigue and speculation, with her story becoming part of the folklore surrounding the Dance of the Dragons. Alys Rivers' character has left a lasting impression on the lore of A Song of Ice and Fire. Her enigmatic nature, combined with the rumors of her magical abilities, has made her a subject of fascination for historians and readers alike. She represents the blending of the mystical and the political, embodying the darker, more mysterious aspects of Westerosi history. Larys Strong, Lord of Harrenhal, was executed in 131 AC during the Hour of the Wolf, leaving the custody of Harrenhal in question. But in 132 AC, during the regency of Aegon III, a number of outlaws and landless war-displaced men throughout the Riverlands assembled at Harrenhal under the rule of a woman reputed to be a powerful sorceress and who claimed be the true power in the Riverlands. Tasked by Sir Tyland Lannister, Hand of the King, with reclaiming the castle, Sir Regis Groves of the Kingsguard and Sir Daemon Darry were dispatched to Harrenhal with 100 men to reclaim the mighty fortress in the name of the Aegon III. This powerful sorceress was revealed to be Alys, who claimed to be the widow of Prince Aemond Targaryen. She presented a young boy as their true-born son, who she said was the rightful king instead of Aegon III. Regis was killed suddenly by unseen means after insulting Alys. Some claim she used magic to burst his skull, while others state he was killed by crossbowmen or slingers. Alys's rabble then charged from the cursed gates of Harrenhal and overwhelmed the loyalist men. Daemon led 32 survivors back to Castle Darry. Alys dispatched captured black loyalists to Darry as a messenger the following day. The survivor claimed that a dozen other captives had been tortured to death, and that he had been ensorcelled by Alys so that her magical curse would kill him if anyone laughed at his story. He said Alys had instructed him that any man who approached Harrenhal without bending knee to her and Aemon's heir would die. The man also insisted that along with the many other depredations he had witnessed, he had beheld a living dragon within the cursed castle. Despite Daemon's assurance that no one would laugh at the messenger's story, an onlooker did so. The messenger then choked to death in moments, with some saying they had seen the imprints of a woman's fingers on his throat. Back in King's Landing, Tyland was troubled by Regis's death. Lord Unwin Peake was extremely skeptical of Daemon's claims of dragons and magic, however, and the other regents agreed with Unwin that this was the work of cunning cutthroats, not powerful blood magic. Aegon's regents concluded they would need to gather a larger punitive expedition to recapture Harrenhal, but their plans were disrupted by the winter fever in 133 AC, which meant that Alys Rivers' fate remains a mystery.